Alright, hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Asiago back at you again on 3 a.m. Thoughts. And sadly, tonight we don't have any facts. But as a matter of fact, there I go again. Okay, so since this is a minicast, we just got a small topic to cover. So here's the question: what does it mean to save a life? Now, the reason why I asked such a philosophical question is because, so like about a month and a half ago, I finished this long RPG game. It's really great, really awesome, spectacular. It's called Octopath Traveler. And now, in the Octopath Traveler, you got these 8 playable characters with their own separate storylines. Some of them get intertwined with the others, but mainly though they just have their own little stories. And I went ahead and you can have 4 of them at a time in your party. You can just do your normal JRPG kind of thing. Beat their stories, beat their campaigns and all that, using the fight and whatever, and bam, there you go. And my second playthrough with the last set of 4 characters. One of the characters I was playing as was this guy named Alphen. Now his story. Let me give you a little context about this guy named Alphen. So Alphen, he's an apothecary. So in this, in the world of Octopath Traveler, it's kind of established in kind of like not a medieval time, but it's definitely like set in that typical fantasy time, where people rely a lot on magic or clerics to heal people, and it's and again, it's kind of medieval, kind of not. People still use swords and all that. There's no guns, there's no cars or anything like that. But again, yeah, it's like your typical fantasy setting. But anyways, because of the fact that really the only kinds of medical help people in this world can rely on would be again, magic casters that can use healing magic and stuff like that, or magical items that can heal you. So in this world, so you have these apothecaries that come up. Again, they don't whether they can use magic or not, or whether they can use the right kind of magic. Literally, Alphen over here, he can use ice magic, but he doesn't really use magic for his profession. Again, he's an apothecary. Basically, he fiddles around with leaves and other stuff of that nature, and he combines them together and creates remedies. Creates sometimes he can cure things, sometimes he can at least remedy any rashes or whatever. Again, it's like the beginning of how the medical industry came out to be. It's like the very beginnings of this, but set in the world where everything's all about magic and stuff like that. This guy's using science. They kind of further more more affordable remedies, to sick people and stuff. But anyways, enough about that. So we go on, and so his story basically, he's going all over the traveling all over the continent, to serve these different cities that are going through either their own little pandemics, or having a plague that's been running about, or having to heal somebody who's got a seemingly an uncurable disease, and there's no clerics around or whatever, so they can't use healing magic, or they can't use divine magic to try to heal this guy. No, this guy needs something else, and Alphen's over here to help him with that, because he can figure out just the right ingredients he needs to help this guy get well again. So anyway, so in this story, again, spoiler warning first of all, but then again, it is kind of a long game, so go ahead, listen if you want to, but again, the main story really helps with how I answer the question, what does it mean to save a life? So anyways, so Alphen over here, he wants to travel the realm, and he wants to use his skills to help others on their help others on his path to try to, he's not trying to cure everything in the world, but he is trying to help as much people as he can, because he feels that he has his gift of healing people, with his knowledge, and that he wants to go around and spread that, and that's a good thing, And this guy has no kind of discrimination of who he decides to help. Come on now. When you have the knowledge of how to help somebody when they're sick, why his logic is, why have any kind of discrimination? If someone's sick, doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter what they've done, you just go ahead and do it. Simple as that, right? Well, then he goes into this one city where so he starts seeing this guy. He's all bent out of shape. He's all yeah, like he's got some broken bones. He's all really sick and stuff like that. And but word around town is that he's been thieving a lot. He's been he's been stealing from all the local shops and all that. He's broken into some people's houses, stealing their stuff and selling them, making some money. And so word goes around that there's this really bad guy running around. Nobody likes him, and he just has a really bad reputation. But then you go on, you go out, you find this abandoned barn, and you find him like sleeping in there, And then he said, so then this criminal dude says, well, the only reason why he's been doing that, and again, get this. No, the criminal dude, again, he's all sick and all that. He's all like just bent out of shape. He's just hiding in the barn. Alvin finds him, and he's saying, well, the reason why he's been doing that is because he's really poor. Because he used to be a mercenary. And the mercenary work, and the mercenary business hasn't been booming because there's been no wars or anything like that. But freaking over here, he's trying to get by. He's trying to not just feed himself, but feed his kids and stuff like that. So Alvin feels a bit of sympathy for this guy. But anyways, he decides to patch him up. Despite what everybody has been saying about him, he believes that there's good in him. There's good in all people, and plus, circling about to his logic, where it doesn't matter who they were or who they are or what they've done. If somebody's sick, you see a need, you gotta fill that need. And that's that's a logical thing to think, especially when you got that ability. And this guy doesn't really charge. And this guy doesn't charge. Alvin doesn't charge for his services. That's another thing. But anyways, so he goes and heals the criminal, right? In a couple of weeks pass. He's all healed up. He's all better. And Alvin makes him make a promise, saying that, okay, so now that you're all like back on your feet, you're all well again, you will not go thieving. You will find a legit job, and you'll go take care of your family, right? And they shake on it. And they make a promise, and then Alvin goes on to the next city. He starts making his way to the next city. However, though, as he was about to leave, he sees the criminal guy that he just healed. Yeah, he's just helped for the past couple of weeks, and then he's over here back in the middle of the city, already holding a kid as hostage, having a knife to his throat, and then he's forcing a mother to give up all everything that she's got, And Alvin's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, yeah, and he's over here like, wow, you fool! You've helped this greedy criminal out. You see, I never had any kids. I don't have a family. I work alone. And I don't care what you made me promise. I'll do what I want, And so as a matter of fact, and this guy, he's all like, well, if you ever want to see your kid again, meet me up in the forest. And you see what happens. You better bring everything you got. You better make me rich, sucker. So the mother's in despair. The criminal runs away with the kid to the next city, and Alvin's over here saying, I gotta stop this guy. I can't believe this has happened. Yeah, so goes into the next city, but on his way over there, again, because it's kind of far on the map, he goes around, he heals more people, but then he also heals. He meets another fellow apothecary, and this apothecary freaking. Actually, let's turn back time a little bit in the story. Yeah, so I feel like this is gonna come into play later on. So before the whole healing the criminal incident, so he goes to this city. It's the very first city he goes to, and he sees another fellow apothecary. She's healing people. She's doing she's doing her thing. But the thing is that first of all, is that she's very secretive about what she the practice of how she does her practices, how she makes her medicines, and why she charges a fortune for them. As a matter of fact, she makes these remedies and all that. She charges so much that any common person, any common folk that can't afford it, basically just can't put their hopes on her. And really only the rich and nobles can purchase her stuff. But then it turns out little by little, people start figuring out that basically when they take any of her medicines, they get sick, and she offers them more medicine to fix that problem. So Alvin starts getting suspicious. He finds out that this apothecary lady, she's been purposely using these poisonous flowers to make people sick so they can purchase her medicines, which the cycle continues. And and he says, what's the deal with this malpractice? First of all, you go off and ignore the little guy, who needs to get help, and you're just trying to build a fortune off this. And she's all like, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. And like the reason why I'm doing this is to make money, and he doesn't agree with that. He like, his philosophy again is that you see a need, you fill a need. There's when we have this gift, when we have this power, like to heal people. I mean, again, it's not a power, but this knowledge of how to heal people. You shouldn't like discriminate. You shouldn't only aim to try to help yourself. You should, when you know this kind of stuff, when you're doing this kind of practice, you should like do it not for yourself, but for the sake of others. And then which leads on to the situation that happens in the next town, where like again, he doesn't discriminate. He ends up helping the criminal guy, but then look how the criminal guy ends up acting. But in that same but then like he goes to the next city. Meets this other fellow apothecary, and this other guy, he only heals certain people. Like he's over here he's over here. No, it's not a hospital, but it's just a quarantine building where like all like the sick people are placed, And so and this dude, again, I'm not very good with names, so I forgot his name. I forgot the lady apothecary's name. I forgot the criminal's name. But it's been a while. But anyways, freaking so freaking the other apothecary guy, he's going around. He's asking before he operates on anybody, he asks, "Have you done any crimes? What kind of person are you? What have you done? If I were to heal you, what would you do? How would you use the second opportunity at life? And then based on their answer, that's how he would heal them. Now, for some people, they would say, well, I was a filthy criminal. I was a thief. I did this, I did that. I've been doing grunt work for this, for this." What you call it, Dark Lord or whatever, and then he decides to not help them at all. But then for another person, they say they were just a shop owner, they're owner of like a weapon shop, and then and he was helping the city's economy or something like that, and he goes and heals him. And then again, that whole discrimination thing. Again, the other apothecary guy, he's not doing this for money. He's doing this because he's doing this because if he deems somebody worthy, somebody who's not gonna somebody who's not gonna turn there's freaking use their healing for bad, he's choosing who's worthy to get healed. Those who are worthy will get healed. Those who doesn't deem worthy, he won't heal. And Alfred goes out saying that, why would you do something like this? I mean, sure, yes, this guy is a bad person. Sure, this guy, he's not, I mean, if we heal him, he's just gonna go back to doing his own thing. But like, what's the point though? But why discriminate people? And again, he doesn't believe in just healing certain people or only healing people for money. He believes that everybody who is sick everybody who has that need should have that need filled. Everybody who gets sick needs to be healed regardless of who they are. And again, then he thinks back about the freaking criminal situation, and then like his spirit gets let down. He starts questioning himself. Why does he do what he does? Because what if this happens again? And then the other apothecary guy he was like, my point exactly, and it starts really dogging him down, But then so he gets to the next city where the criminal guy's holding the child hostage and all that, again, typical RPG stuff. He fights him, he beats the hell out of him, again, he's not sick, but he is beaten down, he stops him, but then he comes to his senses, saying that, what does it mean to save a life? I mean, when you have this ability to heal people, you can't just do it for your own personal gain. You have to use it for others. I mean, why else would you even practice what you practice? And and yes, some people are bad people, and healing them would only cause them to do more bad stuff. But here's the thing, though: we are not God. We are not the gods, we are of a higher power to be making these decisions of who should live or who should die. As apothecaries, again, just heal. Just heal who needs to be healed, and then deal with the rest later. You know, if they're criminals, heal them, put them in jail. If they're good people, heal them, set them free. You know, again, like if someone needs to be helped, don't hesitate to help them. You know, just again, do what you can. Like do what you were placed there for, and do your job. But on top of it all, you know what it means to save a life is, again, you know, it's not about you. It's not about yourself. It's about who you're saving. You know, and perhaps if you save someone who's deemed unworthy by many people, there's a chance, and I do mean a chance, that maybe perhaps they'll use their second chance at life for good. But others, I mean, they'll have to face their consequences. And that kind of brought me to my understanding of how God works, you know, because by God's grace we are healed. I mean, that was the whole point of the cross. You know, when Jesus got into the cross and he died for our sins, again, yeah, like he acted as the ultimate sacrificial lamb, and that as he was being struck to the cross, he was being whipped, as his blood was being shed, it was all for our sins. He was being sacrificed as the ultimate sacrifice, because he was God himself, and he was letting his own flesh be torn to shreds. He was letting himself get beat up and be placed on the cross as a sacrifice for our sins. Again, the Romans had one idea, but God had another idea, because all in actuality it was planning out the way God wanted to. And what it means to save a life, you know. Again, you know, it's not about yourself, it's about who's getting it. You know whoever receives the healing, they can use it. They can use that chance to better themselves, or they can use the chance wrongly, and they can just keep on doing what they've been doing, and then but still consequences will have to ensue. And then, so again, coming back to Christ, again, by grace we are healed, by his stripes, you know, our sins are taken. He's cleansed us of our sins. But that doesn't mean it's a free pass to go out and sin all the time. And that doesn't mean that, Jesus died on the cross, you know, I can go out and be this criminal guy who just kills people all the time, rapes children, and freaking does all this because, you know, I'm by his grace I'm healed. No, you know, by God's grace we are healed, but do not forget that, you know, he's a righteous judge. He's the author of justice, so payment is still due. Again, yeah, it sounds kind of weird when you think about it, but you know, Jesus' death on the cross was payment for our sins, yes. And because of that, we can always come to God for forgiveness, and we don't have to slaughter a lamb every time we sin or something. But the thing is that again, God is he's the righteous author of justice, and he's the righteous judge. You know, so again, justice must prevail. So whenever we confess to him of our sins, and he forgives us, okay, yes, you know, again, the cross does the ultimate work, and we're good. But that doesn't mean that we can just do whatever we want and get away with it. No. He's still gonna, if we do anything that's against God, he's still gonna have to punish us, you know, because again, it's that whole judgment thing. Because not only is he the giver of grace, he's the giver of justice, and that's what we need to understand. What it means to save a life is, again, it's not a selfful thing. It's not about you. It's about who's receiving the healing. When God was dying on that cross, he wasn't doing it for his own sake. He was doing it for us, and whoever uses Jesus' death, correctly, they'll benefit off it. You know, whoever receives the healing and does righteous things with it will benefit. But whoever receives the healing and does, you know, malicious things with it, you know, they're gonna get what's coming to them, you know, in one way or another. In due time, they will get what's coming to them. So payment is always due. Even though yes, freaking Jesus died on the cross, and he atoned for everybody's sins, that doesn't mean we can just still continue to rack up debt. Because when you rack up debt, there's still debt. Yeah, well, how are you gonna pay for that debt? Yeah, it's kind of like if, like, literally, let's imagine you have student debt, right? You know, you pay like over 80 grand, you know, for school. Okay, and then all of a sudden this rich guy comes up. And he just pays all of it, just a full 80 grand, like it was nothing. And he's like, "You're welcome." Go do with your savings or finances or whatever. And then you go out and you're like, well, damn, I don't have to pay this. I don't have to pay off those student loans anymore. Hell yeah. That means I can use all this money to party. I can use it to buy my own yacht. I can do this and that. Then next thing you know, you're bankrupt and you're super poor and you're living on the streets. Just because the debt's been paid doesn't mean you can continue being a jerk. It doesn't mean you can continue being an idiot, a jackass. No, what it means to save a life is that it's selfless. It's selfless, and that once you get this second chance at life, don't use it selfishly. Don't use it. Don't just when you get a second chance in life, don't be an idiot with it. Better yourself. It's all about it's all about becoming a better person at the end. It's all about becoming a worthy person. Because again, you get a chance at life, you can become worthy, but you gotta want to become worthy. You gotta actually try to become worthy. You can't just expect yourself to be worthy just by doing what you've always been doing. If you do what you always do, you're gonna get what you always get. I don't think I worded that right. Freaking, if you do what you always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. And so that's the whole thing about saving lives, whether it's physical, whether it's spiritual. You get this second chance. Don't waste it. Don't just go back to doing whatever, because it's an endless loop. But once you decide to just be selfless about it and just better yourself, then you'll receive the blessings, you'll receive the benefit. It's as simple as that. But anyways, that's all I pretty much have for this minicast here. Again, I wasn't gonna try to go for too long. I don't even think I have enough content for this topic to go an hour long. I probably do if I had other people with me. But anyways, all right. So that's all I have. All right. So if you made it this far, thank you for listening to tonight's episode. This freaking this. I really hope this helped you in any way. Maybe you might have learned something. Maybe you hadn't. Maybe you didn't listen to this part, and I'm literally just talking to thin air right now. But anyways, either way, thank you for listening. Be sure to check out XFLiX on YouTube. That's where I'm posting my current podcast on. I'm posting a new episode every single day till it catches up with the Spotify. Alrighty, so here we go. This is boy Asiagama 3M Thoughts signing off. Have you a blessed one.